of knowing, but it is the best because the only thing Allah sends the Prophet with is the Quran. And we thank him for preserving the Quran and making it the surest way to guide mankind. We are reading Surah to Yusuf, and tonight we want to look at two things that have been confused to be the same, which are not. But one of them relates to general application. In other words, every human being that has potential to be great must suffer from this. And this, I think, is one of the reasons for the revelation of this surah. Because the Quraysh, especially the close members of the family of the Prophet, put him under severe pressure, and he wasn't going to enjoy any good thing or benefit from them. And he was surprised as a human being. He was perplexed, and Allah revealed this surah to console him, to tell him that, one, envy is natural, and no one is envied but the one that is higher than us. A father does not envy his son. Rather, he is proud of his child. If a child is greater than the father is happy and proud to be the father or mother of a greater child. But it is somebody who is not directly related in terms of being the parent that can envy a younger person. And in this case, we have elder brothers in severe and deep envy of their younger brother. The brothers of Yusuf envied him. Now, what is the second thing? It is the disclosure of his dream. It is not true, and I stand to be corrected. I do not think it is true that the brothers knew about his dream. His father warned him never to disclose his dream, and that's a general principle. Don't share your dream. But a dream that is given milestone becomes a plan. And a dream that is pursued according to the milestone that has action to back it becomes a mission. So even for a milestone, you don't hear this time, we get here this time. The plan are two. The plan of the dreamer, the plan of the man of vision, the plan of the woman of vision, who believes that this is what I want to be, this is what I dream to become in future, and the plan of Allah. They do not occur at the same time, the same way. This is the story of Yusuf, and this is the story of anybody that has a big dream, a clear vision of what he or she wants to become in life. But quickly, before I move on, I want to observe that unfortunately today, dream is not possible. Vision is not possible because they have dreamt our dreams for us. And it is this, a program of schooling. A child goes to school at age 2, and he goes through that process of orientation, laziness. When he finishes, the programming has been completed. He has an entitlement mentality. He has a piece of paper called certificate, and is entitled to a job. And so he's starting a new form of struggle to get a job where he will go to the office, do nothing, and receive salary at the end of the month. Where he will do nothing with his hand, he will produce nothing, but he will make himself happy that he's got a job. And even if he goes round the file once in a while, and he gossips most of the time, throughout the 8 hours that will be in the office, he will make himself happy that he's working. And this is the general situation of almost everybody, especially in the third world, where we only go to school without being educated. Only the medics, the teachers, and those in security are actually doing some work. But even all this, only the farmers are productive. Nobody does government work and becomes productive. Everybody is programmed to waste his or her life. And that is the vision they have given. Go to school, graduate, become a graduate, therefore look down upon those who do not go to school, even if they are more intelligent than you, and then do nothing and make pittance and be happy that people regard you, people refer you, people respect you. So you don't have a vision. And this is where I want us to start from. My children, have a vision. What do you want to become? And don't be ashamed of wanting to become a fashion designer, a carpenter, a furniture maker, a home maker, interior decorator. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed to be a graduate driver who is into Uber. Don't be ashamed, because that is a form of productivity. So Yusuf had that vision to become a great man in future, whose parents and brothers will prostrate to him. It is different from what the brothers did to him. His vision is different. He did not disclose it to them. They did not fight him because of his vision, but they fought him for reasons they stated very clearly. Now let's go to the Quran. We get to Ayah 7, where Allah introduces the new subject. And this is the beginning of the trouble, and it runs throughout. It affected him throughout. And these brothers did not disappear from the scene of the trouble. They now have the story running between them, their father, between them, their brother. So this is the story. So the brothers were running their narratives, the narratives of their lives between them and their father, hurting their father. Between them and their brother, haven't hurted their father, their brother. They think they have finished with him. And then the brother continued his life and continued to pursue his vision through a mission that he did not prepare for. But the brothers felt that they have a vision, the vision of eliminating their enemy, and then they pursued it with a mission of selling him off, and they think it ended there. This is what happens to people who have no vision. They are only emotional and they are attacking the present and they don't care about the future. So a man of vision is not thinking about now, he's thinking about the future. Yusuf was thinking about the future and he was not perplexed about the present that does not look like his vision. So what happened? Allah introduces this subject by saying, لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي يُوسُفَ وَإِخْوَتِهِ آيَاتٌ لِلسَّائِلِينَ. Certainly, there were in Joseph, Yusuf and his brothers, signs, ayat, signs, لِلسَّائِلِينَ, for those who want to ask, for those who want to investigate, for those who want to interrogate life cycles, life events, life troubles, and life narratives. Those who want to examine life and therefore want to live it. In the stories, this is the beginning of the lessons. In the stories of Yusuf and his brothers, there are signs, some of them to be believed only, and some of them to be understood. You cannot understand everything, but you must believe everything. Whichever you now understand, you understand. For example, a man of vision will meet with disaster. He will meet with degradation. He will be degraded. He will be reduced to nothing. He will be disgraced. He will be messed up. He will be neutralized. He will be resisted consciously or unconsciously. For example, it is possible that their prophet's father also saw something in Yusuf. That's why he loved him so much. And the brothers cannot understand because they are not people of vision, so they can't see. They can't see beyond the ordinary. But the father, probably as a prophet, saw beyond ordinary. He's called la Yusufu wa ahu'u ahabbu ila abina minna wa nanu usbatun inna abana la fi dalalin mubin. This is an assessment of what is happening in their family. They are in the majority. They said, Yusuf and his brother are more beloved to our father than us. Why we are a clan, we belong to the majority. We are 10 in number, and all 10 of us from one woman, and we belong to a clan. And this clan is the strongest clan. Probably the clan of a woman, a great woman married to a great husband, a prophet of Allah. Maybe that is what they mean, that we are usba, we are a clan, and they are a group. How can a father love 2 out of 12? That we should love the majority, not 2. In other words, they did not see any merit in Yusuf and Bunyamin. In other words, they did not see anything good in them. Their own concern is the preference the father had and showed to Yusuf and Bunyamin. A great lesson here for fathers, a great lesson here for you, my children. As you grow, you set up your own family. It is possible you love 1 or 2 out of your children above others. Don't ever show it. Don't put your children into trouble. It is possible your parents also have shown some love, some preference for you or to you, this will have put you into trouble, because envy is an affliction. Whether the person that envies you is a witch, a wizard, a wicked person, a mischievous person, or not. The person that envies you doesn't have to do juju against you. It doesn't have to be spiritually stronger than you. But once you are envied, you are already afflicted. And unless something bad happens to you, the person that envies you will not back out. He will continue to hate you. Envy generates hatred. It does not produce anything in the person that envies but hatred. Anytime the person that envies you, remembers you, he hates you, and is looking forward to something bad to happen to you. So this is what happened to Yusuf. And this affliction followed him until his vision was fulfilled. Great lesson here, you will be envied. Great lesson here, when you are envied, ignore the envy. Ignore the one that envies you. Don't respond to human envy. Be happy that if you are not prominent, if you are not important, nobody will envy you. You are envied because you are more important than the person that envies you. Nobody is envied if you don't look at him up there or in front of you. You cannot envy a person that is beside you. You are walking towards the same destination at the same pace. You cannot envy him. You are equal. You can only envy the person that is walking in front of you, because he's ahead of you, so envy is natural. And you can envy somebody whose destination is on top of you. If you're looking at somebody on top, somebody is up there. That is why you envy him. And envy is the most unreasonable thing, because the person that envies may not be able to account for the reason he envies you. Envy must come. If you are a great person with a vision, envy must afflict you, no matter how pious you are, no matter how hardworking you are, no matter how careful you are. You will see all this playing out in the life of Yusuf and his father. You will see that this affliction did not yield to carefulness, vigilance, knowledge, piety, even prayer. It must come. So they said, "Uqtulu Yusufa aw itrahuhu ardan yakhlu lakum wajhu abikum wa takunu min ba'dihi qauman salihin." And I'm interested in the last part of this ayah. He said, kill Yusuf or cast him away. Cast him away, so that you will receive the good countenance of your father, and your father will see only you. Once he does not see Yusuf again, he will be forced to love you. And you'll be, after that, salihin. وَتَكُونُوا مِنْ بَعْدِهِ قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ. Meaning, these prophet, children of a prophet, knew that what they were going to do was wrong. And they hoped to repent thereafter. After eliminating their brother, they will become righteous people. Meaning, envy does not respect righteousness. Envy does not respect piety. Envy does not respect faith. Whether you have faith or not, once it happens that somebody who is not supposed to be something in your own reckoning, once you allow shaitan to make you envy somebody, your righteousness is suspended at immediately. These righteous prophet, children of a prophet, decided to suspend their righteousness. They decided to do away with their righteousness, and they are open to receive it back, to pick their righteousness back after becoming unrighteous. So don't get confused. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't deceive yourself that this person is righteous, this person is following Sunnah, this person is an alim, this person preaches, this person does dawah. He cannot possibly envy me. Forget it. These children are prophets because they are children of prophets. Male children of prophets are prophets. And they are grandchildren of a great prophet. But here we are. Envy overtook them, just like envy overtook Shaitan. So everything is from Shaitan. And there is nobody that can escape it if Shaitan handles anybody. So are you going to fight the person that envies you and also shows it? And you want to fight Shaitan? Don't do so. Ignore him, get engaged, and then manage your vision. Manage your vision by ignoring the distractions. But whichever stage of the distraction you are, manage it successfully. Don't forget your vision. Don't abandon your vision. Don't concentrate on the present. Still focus on the future. Yusuf is now going to be cast into a well and sold into slavery. This is the plan of the men without vision. Those who envy you have no vision, but they envy you because you have a vision and a future. So they are thinking of only the present and they want to eliminate you because they don't like what is present. They don't like the present state and situation that they find themselves. So they went to their father. Qalu ya abana ma laka alla tamanna ala Yusufa wa inna lahu lanasihun. They said, oh, our father, why do you not entrust us with Yusuf, while indeed we are to him sincere counselors? They use exactly the word, the same word that Shaitan used for Adam. Shaitan only added Amin. Say, I'm to you, Nasihun Amin. I'm a sincere, trustworthy advisor to you, a counselor to you. That was how he was able to deceive Shaitan. You can see it is Shaitan that is at work, just like the father predicted. They said, why don't you entrust Yusuf to us? Malaka la ta'amanna ala Yusufa. Why don't you trust us with Yusuf? You can see how envy makes you behave like Shaitan. Envy it is that made them determine that they were going to eliminate him, cast him away. Yeah? But when they were going to take him from his father, they were talking about trust. Can they be trusted? You can see, those of us who are reading it, we are reading the story, we will pity the father and we will pity Yusuf. So it takes a man of vision to understand what another man of vision is going through. Like Shuaib alayhi salatu wasalam, when Musa was going through his own process of vision management, vision realization and achievement. So the first stage is that he will be dealt with, be his friend. His enemies will pose as friend, and he will be dealt with. It does not mean that the vision will still not come. This is setback and it is temporary. So, أرسله معنا غدا يرتع ويلعب وإن له لحافظون. Send him with us tomorrow so that he may eat well, يرتع ويلعب, and he may play. And indeed, we will be his guardian, we will be watchers over him, we will be his God. Can you imagine? See what they use. They did not request for Yusuf to join them in their work. They were herders. They were farmers. They were children who were helping their old father in the work, in the farming work, in pastoral activity. So they didn't say, well, our father, you have been unfair to us. You have not allowed Yusuf to join us in this work. Yusuf has always been playing, so send him along with us so that we continue his play. We will feed him, he will eat and play, just like he is doing here. He is eating and playing only. And that is probably one of the characteristics of the beloved child. He will not be allowed to do chores. He will not be allowed to carry out any activity. He will not join others in working. So these children are working and contributing economically to the family. And they are not saying, oh, our father, send your child, your beloved child to us. Train him well. Let him also walk along with us. This may be one of the reasons we don't like him. This may be one of the reasons we actually want to eliminate him. But those wicked people will not come out with their original reason. Every wicked person that does not like a person does not tell the truth about the person. Indeed, what will come out of the mouth of a person that envies another is exact opposite of what is in his mind. That is how bad envy is. So they told their father, send Yusuf to us, along with us tomorrow, so that he will play and he will eat. He will enjoy himself. And we will be a watch over watch over him. Whatever happens to him seems to get them. And we see that the response of the father was used against him immediately. The father said, Qala, inni la yasunni an tadhabu bihi wa khafu an yakula udhib wa antum anhu ghafilun. Yaqub said, indeed, it saddens me that you should take him away. And they scored a point there. Okay, we are taken away, so we have made you serve. Good. And I fear that a wolf will eat him. And then while you are unaware, the father didn't seem to trust them. That, well, you want to take him away. You are not asking for permission. You are determined to take him away. If I don't give him to you, you will be in trouble. I will be in trouble. Everybody will be in trouble. But I am not happy releasing him to you because I fear that you will be negligent of him and death will take him away by being eaten by a wolf. And hear their response. Qalu lan akala udhib wa nanu usba inna izan la khasirun. They cursed themselves. They said, if a wolf should eat him, while we are a strong team, a group, usba, indeed, we will be the losers. But then they came back to say that the wolf had eaten him. and they eventually became the losers. Watch what comes out of your mouth. Okay, Yakub predicted that he feared that wolf will eat him. They said if the wolf ate him, they will be losers. But they came back. وَجَاءُوا أَبَاهُمْ عِشَاءً يَبْكُونَ. They came to their father at night, weeping, crying. That is emotion. Envy generates emotion. Somebody that envies you wants to cry in order to make other people join him in fighting you. The envious person wipes up emotion against the envied. And they have several ways of, neutralizing facts, truth, and reason. قالوا يا أبانا إن ذهبنا نستبق وتركنا يوسف عند متاعنا فأكله الذئب وما أنت بمؤمن لنا ولو كنا صادقين. Did you hear what they said? They said, our father, indeed, we went racing each other. We left Yusuf with our possession. A wolf ate him, but you will not believe us, even if you are truthful. Can you imagine? They lied that a wolf ate Yusuf because this is the fear of their father, that a wolf might eat him. So they used their father's word against him. That, well, you have said that a wolf will eat your son. Indeed, a wolf ate him. And then you won't believe us. Even if we are telling you the truth, even if we tell you the truth, you won't believe us. If we tell you that no wolf ate him, but that we sold him away into slavery, you won't believe us, because you won't believe that we could be so wicked. So it is better you believe what you already felt will happen to your son. A wolf will eat him. No, the wolf has eaten him. And so you won't believe us. You can see an interplay of conscience and wickedness. Their conscience tells them we are not fair. But the envy inside them pushes them on to continue to do the evil, irrespective of whether they are conscious of it or not. وَجَاءُوا عَلَىٰ قَمِيصِهِ بِدَمٍّ كَثِيرٍ قَالَ بَلْ سَوَّلَتْ لَكُمْ أَنفُسُكُمْ أَمْرًا فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ وَاللَّهُ الْمُسْتَعَانُ عَلَىٰ مَا تَصِفُونَ. Look at the response of the man of God. And they brought upon his shed false blood. Yakub said, rather, your souls have enticed you to something. He told them point blank, this is something that your soul tells you to do. So patience is the most befitting. Wasabrun Jamil, patience is beautiful. I'm going to be patient. It means the man of God knew what happened. He knew his son was not dead. But he wasn't going to tell them that the person you thought you had killed was not killed, is alive, and is going to fulfill a particular mission. He told him not to disclose to the brother, so it will be unexpected that he himself will not disclose to them. He knew that, well, this is Hijra stage. A man of vision must leave his place of birth. And tell me one great person that lived throughout his life where he was born and died where he was born and is a great person. I will pay. I can assure you that there is no such person in history. Who will be great? He will be born in a particular place. He will not leave that place, and he will die there, and he will be great. Even if it's a Queen of England, it won't happen. So he said, patience is beautiful. Wallahu musta'anu ala ma tasifun. And Allah is the one sought for help against that which you describe. Did you read this ayah 18 before? Have you read this ayah 18 before? The man of God neutralized his children. He's wiser. He has a greater vision. He knew what happened and he trained them. He hurt them in their conscience. But the envy inside them did not make them take notice of what their father was saying. He said, he prayed against them immediately. He said, no, you're lying. But he didn't say, you are lying. He said, no, no. It is your soul that enticed you with this matter. Fasabrun Jamil. Patience is beautiful. This nonsense you are saying, I seek Allah's help against it happening. It won't happen to my son. What did he do? You know, to say that the wolf ate their brother is a curse. And what did the father do? He removed it, he neutralized it, he banished it, he bind it. He bind the curse, the lie they said about their brother. This is where I want to stop. But this stage of Hijrah is the stage where every messenger of Allah, must reach to arrive at their full personality. It is liberty. It is sometimes a distraction, but without Hijrah, there is no liberty. Now, what is the Hijrah that I'm talking about? I'm not necessarily saying you must physically move away from your place of birth and go to another place. Sometimes you may read chemistry and become a journalist. I'm talking about somebody on this platform. That is Hijrah away from the course of study to a profession of choice. Sometimes your Hijrah may have to be that you will move from your family. You may have to leave your family and move away from your family through separation, divorce, or temporary separation. If staying with your family will distract you, you have to move. And this has been planned for us. You must go to school. Once you go to school, you have to do Hijrah. Once you go to school, you have done Hijrah. Then, having gone to school, you may still do Hijrah away from your course of study. So you can change direction. So we see this, and this Hijrah will be the beginning of everything. It is after Hijrah that visions are managed and then sustained and then achieved and then fulfilled. There is realization stage, there is consciousness stage, and there is fulfillment stage. These are the three stages. Self-realization, who are you? Self-consciousness, I am this person, I'm different from this person. So I'm not going to behave like ordinary people. I am not ordinary. So whatever ordinary people are doing, I'm not going to join them because I have realized that I am not ordinary. So self-consciousness. The first stage, self-realization. This is what Yusuf related to his father. His father made him realize who he is. He cannot possibly become conscious of it while he was still with them. He had to detach. He had to do this Hijrah. So Let's read two more. Let's read two more before we next week complete the story. This is the beginning of the journey. Self-realization led to self-consciousness, but there is a long process of torture, long process of troubles, long process of patience before fulfillment. So, وجات سيارة فأرسلوا واردهم فضلا دلواء قال يا بشرى هذا الغلام وأسر بضاعة والله علم بما يعملون. And there came a company of travelers. They sent their water drawer and he laid down his bucket. He said, good news, here is a boy. And they concealed him, taking him as a slave, a merchandise to be sold. And Allah was knowing of what they did. So this is degradation. Yusuf was degraded from a prophet, a beloved son of a prophet, a grandson of a prophet, to a slave. He became a slave. This is the beginning of his mission. You can link it with this other one, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. We're going to read Musa too. Musa came out of the palace and ran away from Egypt and became a laborer, a refugee in Madian. This is the way Allah has ordered the journey of great people. There must be hijrah, there must be degradation. He came out of the palace as a prince and became a laborer in Madian. So Yusuf, the future king that will be prostrated to, now became degraded into a slave. When you enter this stage, don't be distracted. Don't accept it. It is not permanent. It is not your station. It is a situation. Don't convert a situation into a station. وشراء بالثمن يخسي دراهم معدودة وكانوا فيه من الزائدين. And they sold him for a reduced price, a few dirhams, and they were, because of him, content with little. They don't know the person they were selling. They sold him at a miserable price. But it did not tell them who he was. He was not going to read his CV to them. He didn't say, hey, guy, you don't know me. I am Yusuf, the son of Yaqub, a future king. He didn't say that. Why did Allah not make him say that? Allah told him earlier, you are going to tell your brothers about this story when they will not be aware. So we stop here. We continue from Ayah 21, where he started his mission. The mission has not started. What we have up to this moment is just the vision, realization, and then consciousness, the beginning of consciousness. So he wasn't going to trade wars with those who sold him. So he was going to hide his identity. In order to sustain, listen, yeah, I want to listen to you. Who is raising hand? Idris, come on, Idris. We have less than 10 minutes.
No, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Now, first observation is about hijrah. I think evidently from most of the messengers of Allah and story he has told us severally, hijrah has never been premeditated, but it will you'll be forced, whether you like it or not,
To do it.
to eventually do it. So just what I think must be done for a dreamer, someone who has a vision, is that he must be flexible enough to be able to accept it whenever the time comes.
Whenever it comes.
So next one is,
However it comes.
yes, and now it comes. So the next point I
You
also
must
want to raise is,
sit down and make a choice.
yes, don't allow yourself to be recruited, to be envious of another person. Always be conscious of what's your environment before you gang up against. Just don't allow. Let me just leave it like that. Don't allow yourself to be recruited, to be envious of another person. The next one is, a dreamer must identify a person to be spoken to. Like, if Yusuf did not identify that it is only his father that he can discuss his dream with, then probably he would have ran his dream. Like, probably he had talked to his brother, probably because of closeness, or talked to the mother because of the flexibility of women's emotion. Probably it would have been mismanaged. And number 4 is your talking about the miserable pricing, meaning that your miserable pricing must not make you feel less worthy of whom you have seen yourself to become, but rather sometimes you have to just allow things flow naturally and keep your eyes on the ball. Nam Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Yeah, I can't hear you anymore. Have you finished? Okay, very good. We are not going to allow parents to talk here. Parents can make their observations, they can write, they can chat me up. I'm not going to allow parents. Even youth teachers, I'm not going to allow them. I want these children to understand what I've said to them, and if they don't, they should ask questions. If you want to contribute, chat me up, please, please. It is meant for only these children. Yeah. Any other youth? Any other youth? Good. There is a take home for me. Don't be recruited and don't allow yourself to be recruited into envying other people. Envy is natural, and you cannot envy unless you are lower than the person you envy. So when you envy, you note that you are not a great person. A great person does not envy. A great person looks at everybody as equal and well endowed in different ways. A great person does not see another person being greater than him. Therefore, he does not have any reason to envy. But the person that envies is lower than the person that he envies. Look at the analogy that I gave. You can only see somebody on top of you, somebody up there, or somebody in front of you. You cannot see somebody behind you. So if you are greater than somebody, that person is walking behind you, you can't see him. So you cannot envy him. And you cannot see somebody that is walking beside you. That is, if you are equal, if you are on the same level, you can't envy him. So envy is an attribute of lower people. It is not something with which we describe great people. Did I make myself clear? We continue from here next week. Any other youth?
Yes. Okay.
I saw one of our children raising her hand, causing Tawakkal to. Did you not raise your hand before? And I'm happy tonight. So many children are now. Oh yeah, causing Tawakkal to your talk.
I'm a mother, sir. Chile. Hello, sir. I'm a mother.
I know.
Okay. And I wanted to ask if
Is that not Tawakkal from Abeokuta?
yeah, she is. I'm the one. I'm the one. Sir.
To me, you are still a child.
Yes, yes, sir.
So
I just
who is top?
I just want to ask, is a form of contribution that but the stage of migration in Nigeria, does it have a limit? The stage of migration has a limit. Is it a continuous thing or something that has to happen once and that's all? That's what I just want to chip in.
Yeah, migration may be multiple. It may be one line, and it could be several. It could be continuous. Like the migration of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam was multiple. He went to Egypt, he went to Palestine, he went to where again? Musa went to Madian and came back to Egypt. Muhammad sallam went to Medina and only came back to Mecca to conquer it. Yusuf left Palestine and never went back to Palestine. It was Musa that was made to take them back to Palestine. And we are not quite sure that he succeeded in taking them back to Palestine, but he took them away from Egypt. So Musa did two lines of Hijrah from Egypt to Madian, back to Egypt, and then out of Egypt to the promised land. Hijrah could be multiple. Thank you very, very much, my dear daughter, for that contribution. It's a useful contribution. Yeah, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not do Hijrah to Taif. He went on a mission, on the Dawah mission, and he was told, and he went back. That was exploration. It was exploration, but that was not where Allah wanted him to go. Yeah. He sent his people to Ethiopia, and then they came back. Then he sent them to Medina and joined them. As for the eldest brother, well, everybody in a group of haters will not hate the same way. You will see in future, this brother also played a role. When eventually they lost Bunyamin to Yusuf without knowing, he refused to go back to their father. He said he will not go back unless his father permitted him. There will be a nice person who will be afraid of being a minority in a group. He wasn't a bad person. So this is the way to describe the eldest of the brothers. Wallahu alam. Yeah. How do we manage or correct our vision in the light of education system? Very good. We are going to do this next week, inshallah. You are going to see it in the story we are reading. Then we are going to, inshallah, explain it. We are going to explain it, inshallah. Yeah, can we close for tonight?
Yes,
okay.
Sir. Yes, sir, we can. Yes, sir, we can.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Jazakumullah khairan too. ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم ربنا هب لنا من ازواجنا وذرياتنا قرة اعين واجعلنا للمتقين imama. Mashallah, we will be gathering again on Tuesday at the parents level to do what we used to do every Tuesday, 8:30 to 9:30. And children, we gather again next week, 8:30 to 9:30. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد ان لا اله الا انت ونستغفرك ونتوب اليك. سبحان ربك رب العزه عما يصفون
والسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين.
والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Yeah, good.